guys. Okay, so we're gonna do a little reading wrap up for September, and then possibly do a little TBR for October. So let's just get into it. The first book that I read was Icebreaker, and I buddy read this with my friend Kim, and I gave it 3.5 stars. But I did really like it, and it was good. It was my first hockey romance, and I liked that she was a figure skater, and I liked the way that their relationship progressed through the story. And the spice was really good. But yeah, it was really good. The next book that I read was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I gave this one 4 stars. And I thought it was really cute. I didn't like it as much as I liked Beach Read, but I liked the fact that they became friends from college, and they went on vacations every year. I thought that was a really cute thing for them to do together, and just the way that they went from friends and then they started liking each other, and then it kind of scared them. And I liked that they're trying to put their relationship back together, try to rebuild that relationship. So I'm excited to read more of Emily Henry's books, because I loved Beach Read and I really liked this. So I need to read the other 2 that she has out before her next one comes out. And then the next book I read was Bridge Kingdom, and I did this one on Audible, and I gave it 4 stars. I'll put it somewhere here. Give it 4 stars, and I liked it. I've heard people compare it a lot to From Blood and Ash, that's behind me, but I could see similarities, but I liked that it also was its own thing. Like, there weren't so many similarities that it was the same story. It was kind of its own thing. I will say though, I like From Blood and Ash better than The Bridge Kingdom, which is going to trigger some people. Oh well. I also listened to on Audible The Traitor Queen, which is the second one in that series. I also gave it 4 stars, and I just was angry for most of this book at the characters, the 2 main characters specifically. There's just so much that could have been avoided if they would have just communicated with each other. But you know, it's fine. It ended all right. Daisy Jones in the 6. And I give this one 4.5 stars. I really liked the style of writing, how it was the interview style of it. And okay, so yeah, this was like the first book that I like underlined things and wrote things, and like, it makes me so proud. And I think that because of the style that it was written in, it made me more confident in annotating it, because the only thing I've ever annotated before is academic articles for my degree. So yeah, really loved this one. 4.5 stars. I watched the series already, so I knew how it was gonna go, but there was a few things that were different. Overall, it stuck really well to the book, I thought. The series did. What I read after that was The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I loved this one so much. I think it's kind of loosely based on the Lizzie Borden murders case, whatever you want to call it, because it's about this girl. Her name's Miss Hope. That's what we call her through the whole book. And she is presumed to have murdered her sister and her parents back in 1929. And she's old now. She's had a lot of medical issues, and so she can't really do anything for herself now. And so she has to have somebody come take care of her. Her name's Kit, and Kit learns that she can use a typewriter. Miss Hope can use a typewriter. So she learns that she can use a typewriter, and Miss Hope ends up wanting to tell her side of the story of what actually happened. And so the whole time you're like, oh, well, did she really commit these murders, or was it somebody else? Because you're learning little bits of the story that nobody really has known for all these years. There's like 3 twists at the end where it's like, oh my gosh, what? And then you're like, oh, okay, cool, that makes sense now. And then the next thing, oh my gosh, what? And just 3 like that. And it was just very cool. And I actually really liked the end of this. I know a lot of people, not a lot, but I've heard of people that didn't like the ending of this. They said like, oh, it was really liked the ending of this. I thought it tied up really nicely, and yeah, so I give this one 5 stars. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, 5 stars. The next one on my list is The Naturals, and I actually borrowed the one from the library to read it. Decided I loved it so much that I bought the entire series. So this is my copy now, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And I think these covers are so fun. Like, it has all the ones on the back too of the other books, and I think they're just so fun. It's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She also wrote the Inheritance Games series. This one is about like if Criminal Minds was based on teenagers, basically. But it's about the FBI, and they created a program for teenagers that are gifted. Like the main character, she's very good at profiling. It comes very naturally to her. There's another profiler in the group, and someone who can read emotions really well, and all that kind of stuff that Criminal Minds includes. So they have to like solve cold cases, and you get to learn more about their backgrounds, about the main character's background. You learn a lot. At the end, there was a twist in it that I didn't see coming of who the bad guy was, and that was really cool because I was just not even thinking about that. But anyways, so I'm really excited to read the rest of this series, and I gave this one 5 stars. Then I also read Cinder. I borrowed this one from the library too. I gave this one 3.75 stars. I've read this series when I was younger. It's the Lunar Chronicles, but I read them out of order when I was younger, and so at this time I want to reread them, and I want to read them in order and kind of see now how I would rate them. I do remember really liking them, and I still liked it a lot. It was a good book. It's based on it's a retelling of Cinderella, except she's a cyborg and a mechanic, so she like fixes robots and stuff because it's set in the very distant future where they like some people live on the moon. But it's really good. I really liked it. I'm excited to read the second one. And then I also read the first book in the Sirena Legacy. It's called Of Poseidon, and it's kind of like mermaids and stuff. This girl, she finds out that she is at least part mermaid. So it starts with her friend dying because of a shark attack, and she couldn't save her friend. But she finds out like she can hold her breath for longer than she should be able to. Like, it starts out like 10 minutes, and then it gets up to like hours that she can hold her breath for. And she meets these 2 people, and they're brother and sister, and they are actually they're Sirena. That's what they call the mermaids in this book, but they're like part of a kingdom, and they're the royals of the kingdom, so they're the prince and princess of their kingdom. So she meets them, and they kind of teach her more about what she is and who she is and stuff. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And then I gave that book a 3 stars. The next book I read was A Soul of Ash and Blood, by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it was good. I only gave it like 3.5 stars, but that's just because it was a retelling partly of the first book, but from the male main character's point of view. And then there's part of the present also included, so it's like him telling his point of view in the present. But I just think it could have been probably shorter. I think it could have been like even just a novella, but because it just seemed very long and drawn out, and the words on the pages are so tiny. So it just took me a while to push through that. But I am excited for the next book to come out because it'll just continue the story like all the other books have been doing. So the last book I read was Of Triton. It's from the library. It's the second book in the Sirena Legacy, and it is more about the princess of the other kingdom. Like, they thought she was killed. She is now presumably found, and they have to hold this trial of like where she's been, why she hasn't come back, that type of thing. And I think that's all I can say about that without spoiling anything. So, but it was really good, and I gave it 3 stars again. and there's just one more book in this series, so I will be getting that from the library this week, and I'm excited to finish it. The books that I read this month, plus my little audiobooks and library books that I don't have. But yeah, so I read 11 books this month, which is really good. Should we do a TBR right now or just leave this short? I don't know. I'll decide later. Okay. Bye.